Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today I am taking you on an experimental journey of making ogi. Now for those who don't know, ogi is also known as pap, and it's a food that we eat in Nigeria and it's quite popular. It's yummy. I loved it growing up. But also it is a food that's recommended for new moms. There is this old wives' tale that if you drink ogi, you will make a lot of milk, a lot of breast milk. So of course, giving birth in Canada, Calgary Canada, sourcing for ogi has been one of my biggest challenge this past 3 months. Of course, I finally found someone who's making ogi, but boy, it is one expensive commodity. So I found out that bulk ban actually sells powdered corn, and I'm going to do an experiment to see if we can actually get ogi, the kind of smooth form that we get in Nigeria, from powdered corn that you can get from bulk ban. So I have here powdered yellow corn that I bought from bulk ban. I have 2 bags of it, and there's a recipe that I have had before that I really like that also contains millet, so I'm going to be trying that. So I have each here, I have my receipt here just so I know the size of it. Each here I have 2.05 kg, 2.49, so rounded up to about 5 kg, no, 4.5 kg of yellow corn. The millet flour, I have about 1.3 kg of millet flour. So what I'm going to be doing is putting them in here and pouring water in it. So the steps is that I have to soak this powder form of blended corn and blended millet and stand for 4 days. I've been doing my research. Soak it for 4 days, and after 4 days I have to come back and then sieve it so that I can separate the shaft from the small form of the corn, which will then make the ogi or pap or akamu, whichever word or whichever of the names you call it. So here we go. Day 1, which is just the pouring in, literally just pouring in and blending. And I'll be back in 4 days to see how much ogi I get out of this. Now, what I did in order to actually see if what I was paying for my 2-liter ogi, which was $25, 25 Canadian dollars for 2 liters of wet ogi, I set myself a similar budget. So what I set myself was $25, although I did go over a little bit. I spent $27 to get this product. So $27 in powdered yellow corn and millet flour. So I upped the antics a bit and put millet with mine. I want to know if I can get 2 liters or more. The target really is if I can get 4 liters or more of ogi from kind of equal amount in money. So if you spend $25 on corn flour, will you get about twice the amount in terms of 4 liters of what I would get if I had bought the ogi myself, in which case it'd be worth it. If I can get twice the amount of what I would get normally if I made it myself. So I will be back in 4 days to show you. After soaking this for 4 days, I'll be back to show you. So warm water is what you have to use. So I've set my faucet to warm. So I'm just going to check that it's warming up, and it is warming up. Awesome. I'll have the millet in a minute. Just going to mix it. The water getting too hot now. It does take a lot of water, which traditionally that is well known. Making ogi, the water consumption process consumes a lot of water. Alright, so stay tuned. In 4 days I will be back to to show you how this turns out. I'll try to record the sieving process to show you if I'm successful or not, because this is the first time of doing this. So we're on a journey here, the journey of making ogi at a reasonable cost. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. So we have the corn flour and millet flour that has been soaking for 4 days now. 4 days. So it's nicely fermented, and I have all my tools here ready. When you first open it, really, you can smell the pungent fermentation smell, but don't let that deter you. It's going to make for an amazing ogi. I'm just going to take that away. Smells great. Actually, I quite like the smell. So really, what I expect to do now is to strain a bit of that water out and replace it with fresh water, which is what I'm just going to do. Get rid of that water that's been sitting there for 4 days. Get rid of some of that. Smells great. At least I like the smell anyway. So the 4 days period that is being soaking really is for the fermentation process that makes that corn flour kind of turn a little bit sour. From what I understand, the longer you soak it, the more of that kind of sourness comes out through the fermentation process. So I'm just going to drain some of that water out. I'm not draining the whole thing out, just removing the kind of foaminess that was on top of that ogi. Alright, I'm going to bring that back, and I'm going to replace it with new water, fresh water, and I'm going to stir it all together. Now, I think in my last video I mentioned that I've been paying for ogi, and I've been paying about 25 Canadian dollars for 2 liters of ogi. And I took that same amount to bulk barn and bought me some corn flour. Well, in the end, it costed me about $27 for the corn flour, millet flour that I bought, which is now what is in this bowl. I will sieve this thing tonight and see how much I get out of my $27 worth of corn flour, and I will compare it to what I was buying, just to give you a feel for kind of if it's economical, if it's even worth it at all. I anticipate that it will be. Since this is my first time, though, I cannot say conclusively, but I'm quite excited to see what comes out of this. Now, for all my Nigerian brothers and sisters that's moving to Canada from the Nigerian, I said, all my African continent brothers and sisters, because I understand it's not only Nigeria that drinks ogi, pap, Akamu, whichever it is. If you're relocating to Canada, really, I beg you, this cloth that they're using to sieve ogi, you really want to pack it with your relocation luggage, because I promise you it is going to be worth it. Because again, like I said, 2 liters of ogi for $25. If you're a household that likes ogi, you're going to be spending a lot of money on ogi. Which is why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because my children love ogi. Since they discovered it, they absolutely love it. So what I have here is the cloth that they use to sieve ogi. I have it tied to another one of this bowl that I have here, so I'll bring it forward just so you can see what I'm doing. Right, another way of filtering this soaked ogi is literally by getting a bowl of water, which I have here. You can see that I've got extra stuff on this table now. You can get a bowl of water with your tied ogi sieving cloth, and literally what you're going to be doing is rinsing out your soaked ogi. So what I'm doing is just pouring it in. As you can see, pour it in. I'm going to do 2 bowls at a time. Pour it in. Okay. It's easier if you have a bag rather than the free cloth, but this is what I've got. So you pour it in and you're literally just rinsing out the ogi from that cloth. Of course, hold the mouth tight so that it doesn't all come out. So you can see that the color is a bit lighter than the unfiltered stuff. Normally you'd have to do this with 2 or 3 rinses, so you'd have 2 or 3 of this. But I'm just doing this once. I will rinse it out once I filter this out or drain it out. I'll show you what I have there in a minute. So you're just literally rinsing out the starchy part, separating it from the chaff. So this is the first rinse. I will still go ahead and rinse this another 2 times. But that's just illustrating the different way you can rinse out your ogi. Now I have already rinsed out a portion here, and I've kind of gone through the process. So you go from here and you rinse it out, or you filter it the other way that I showed you. You do that twice, and then this is what you get. So this is my final product from the one that was sieved earlier. So you can see really that it's a lot clearer than the initial bowl. You see the ogi particle has already settled at the bottom and the water on top, and then you can drain that water and use it to kind of rinse out the other batch of ogi that you still have unfiltered. And once you've done that, once you've gotten out the water from this one, what you get is ogi that's still suspended in water, and I'll actually show that to you. I'm going to get that cover out from over there so I can rest this on it. Okay, so I have a spare bowl here, and I'm going to transfer that water just so you can see what I'm saying for illustration purposes. So if I drain out that water from that ogi, what you get at the bottom is actually a nice settled ogi there at the bottom. So now this is your ogi at the bottom. That is your nice clear ogi. Now if you don't want to wait for it to settle, I bought an extra cloth on Amazon that separates the ogi from the water really quickly, and this is the cloth. I'll put the link below. So this I bought on Amazon, and that will separate the water from the ogi so that you have a nice dry paste of ogi there, which is what I've got here. So you just pour that in, get rid of the water. I need a clean bowl to do that. You mix it all together, pour it in the bag, get rid of the water into that, and you can use that to continue to rinse out your ogi. So I will continue filtering the rest of this batch so that I can finish at some point today, and we can have some yummy ogi ready for us to eat for breakfast tomorrow. Alright, see you then. Welcome back. We are going to cook our ogi now. We're going to have it for what?
Breakfast!
That's right, we're going to have ogi and akara for breakfast. So we have the paste from the ogi here. This would be what I usually get for my $25. So we have that batch here. We have some here that we've put some water in and we're going to use to cook breakfast this morning, which Arinze is stirring for me. Awesome job, Baba. And we've got one here that we still need to filter, so you can imagine how much I got for the $27. For the $27 that I paid. So I've got what I would normally get for $25, and I still have that to sieve the water out, separate the water out. So this is quite exciting. This has been a worthwhile experiment for me. So So to cook the ogi, I've got some paste suspended in a little bit of water. It's quite thick. Because what you want to do is have the paste in a little water, and then you're going to stir it into hot boiling water. Fire. They call steam fire. So you're going to stir it into a boiling pot of water. And that's what I'm going to do right now, really.
Don't put that wood in.
The wood is going to go in because that's how I'm going to stir in the paste to cook the ogi.
Looks like you're making crayons of the book at school. Like the
And
book
I'm
at
going to
school.
need a bit more hot water, so I'm going to grab my kettle and stir it in.
Like they said, you need that twist. Cooking is the art, but baking is the science.
Cooking is an art and baking is a science. How interesting, I like that saying.
I don't know why they said that you need a twist, but that's what it said.
You have to keep stirring. Alright babies, I'm going to have to ask you to step back because this does splash.
Oh, let's get
Step back to
it.
Bena.
Get it.
So you keep stirring, adding water if it's still too thick, but you have to keep stirring so that you don't form lumps. Otherwise you're going to get very, very lumpy ogi if you do not keep stirring. So you can see I'm quite stirring vigorously. We want it quite thick because we are going to have it for breakfast. You see why I had my babies move back, and I'm going to reduce that. It does splash. So babies, are you behind me?
Yes.
Be behind mommy.
Yes, Mom.
Awesome.
Like what they said. Like
So just stir, stir, stir so you don't form lumps. Stir, 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 stir. It does splash, so you do need to be behind mommy, babies.
I'm behind Mommy.
Sabrina, you behind your mom?
Go. Why are you trying to untangle them?
I think this is kind of the consistency I want since it's breakfast. And this we can serve with honey and some milk, which is what we're going to do this morning, and with akara. So I learned recently how to make akara with a bread toaster. I'm trying it out at the moment to see. So that's my ogi done already. I do have a few lumps, but not significant enough. And that's it. I'm just going to let this cook for a few minutes and it's ready. Breakfast is served. Now the akara that I made this morning with my toaster looks like this. This was not deep fried, it was literally baked in my sandwich toaster. I'm trying out that experiment and it seems to have worked. I'm going to fine tune it a little bit more and then I'll do a video on how to do akara without having to deep fry. Hence, of course, with the little bit of, okay, it's unhealthy if it's soaked in all that oil. But this is very little oil in the toaster and it seems to have come out really nicely. So I will do a video another time on how to do that. So that's it. We successfully made ogi from scratch using corn flour got from bulk ban, and I am not disappointed at all.
Mommy.
I am very excited. Yes, baby.
That was so quick.
It was so quick, and cooking is so quick as well. So it's done.
Like what?
All right. Till next time. Bye. You gonna say bye?
Bye bye, and don't forget to subscribe.
Bye.
Or like.